Gotcha folks, 965 here again. I've got another have a look at this type video for you. Hopefully going to be out portable this week. We've got the midweek net, so hopefully I'll be able to get out and try it. But I've got I recently put together a bit of a go box with everything inside that I would need to get me on the air, whether it be static mobile or up on some high ground. Not really for the mountains, because you kind of need as many hands as you can get when you're going up the mountains. Some of the places you're scrabbling on all fours at times, so it's more of a beacon batch type high ground sort of situation, but can be used also for static mobile. So we'll have a little look at what's in the box, and it might give you some ideas. And as always, if you've got any ideas yourselves, feel free to post them up in the comments below. We get the camera turned round. I'm going to have a swig of my tea, and we'll be back shortly. Okay, so here we are. This is the Radio Go box as we have it at the moment. It's a waterproof, airtight and dustproof ABS plastic. It's like a Pelly case type deal. This one's actually from RS. It was something that happened to land in the workshop. It's really quite a chunky piece of kit as it goes. You've got a really nice heavy duty handle there with a nice strong hinge on both sides, so it can hinge either way. That is a pressure release valve. I'm not going to go into that because I haven't looked at it myself yet, so that's what that is anyway. The hinges are a really nice chunky positive click catch, one on each side obviously, and then on the other side we've got some heavy duty hinges, and they are actually reinforced. This is so you can stand it up, but it also reinforces the strength on the hinge, and there's a couple on each side. So we'll give an idea of the size of it. I mean, that's it in relation to my hand. I don't exactly have massive hands, but I just happen to have a tape measure handy, so we'll give you an idea of the size of the box. You're looking at about 48 centimetres, 480mm, or 19 inches in old money. The depth of the box, or the width of the box, is 14 inches, about 35.5 centimetres, 355mm, and the actual height off the deck of the box, we're looking at, it's about 27.5 centimetres, 275mm, or 7 inches thereabouts. So it's quite a considerable piece of kit actually. As I mentioned, it's certainly not something I'll be planning to take up the mountains with me, but somewhere like Beacon Batch or any sort of, you know, 300 metre, 350 metre kind of places, that sort of height would be fine. Anywhere that's not really that much of a demanding climb where you don't need to use your hands or quite so much. So without further ado, we shall pop open the two catches and we shall show you what we have inside. I'll give you a quick overview first, and then we'll go through each bit of kit. So basically, in the top you've got a nice piece of quite thick foam. It has the dimpled, something similar to what you'd find in a recording studio, piece of foam, really quite nice, cushions all the kit nicely when the lid is down. I'll try and show you there is a heavy thick rubber seal all the way around the lid, and that obviously proves to be the airtight, watertight, dustproof seal, which is nice. Then the kit itself is all held nicely in what they call I knew I was going to do that, pick and pluck foam. Now what pick and pluck foam is, for those of you that don't know, is a semi pre-cut foam. Okay, let me just move that out of the way a sec. Obviously you can buy a nice big chunky block of foam, okay, and you can cut with a knife all the shapes and sizes of the kit that you want, and that's fine. If you're like me, you'll want every cut to be exact and precise and clean and crisp and the rest of it, and chances are it's not going to happen. So you either need a really sharp knife or a hot wire cutter perhaps. What I actually find good for cutting foam is You don't see them so much now. You used to get these electric carving knives with two blades that used to go like that. And you would obviously use them to cut your roast meats and stuff, but that cuts foam really, really well. That was a tip I got off an upholsterer. But I've done it again. Pick and pluck foam basically has pre-cut, I'll try and show you this, pre-cut lines. Okay, so when it's closed it just looks like a normal piece of foam, and as you spread it you can see there the little squares that are pre-cut. Now they're not all the way down, but they are all the way down, but they are still connected. I don't know if you can quite see that there. They are still connected. So all you need to do is basically work out what shape you want. Okay, so for example, if I want to take out this square here, all you need to do is break the bonds of the foam of the shape that you want. Okay, so there you go, you can see now that I've released that square. Okay, and then simply break the bonds in the foam all the way down to the bottom. Okay, and then you just pull out the foam that you've removed. You can see there, and you've got a nice perfect square, and also a nice perfect square cut in your foam. So I really like that. When I saw that, I'd never used pick and pluck foam before, but that's a nice feature. And you can buy the inserts of this pick and pluck for the boxes. So if you wanted to have different setups, different radio setups, or you might want to put a different piece of kit, you only want to buy one box, but you can buy the foam pretty cheaply. All you need to do is buy another block of this stuff, okay, for the right box, because they're available in various sizes, and then you can start from scratch and put a load of different kit in there. So the box itself, I've got a tracer battery here. This is a 12 volt 10 amp hour tracer battery. My wind meter and thermometer, temperature gauge there. At present we've got the Albrecht AE6110 as the radio of choice, mainly for weight saving and size saving. The bigger the radio, bigger the box. Notepad and pen. If you're going out on the radio, always take a notepad and pen. A lot of people call into the various nets and they've never got anything to write with or on. So notepad and pen in the go box. We've got an external speaker here. This is the BHI NES 3, I think it is, noise cancelling external speaker. It's a great piece of kit. They're not cheap, but it is a really good piece of kit, especially if you're trying to listen for some distant contacts. Not so much with this, but particularly on sideband, it's very, very good. Takes away all the excess noise, and I may even do a separate video on that. Little SWR meter there is a must, really. Little SWR meter just to check when you get to location, check your twig, make sure everything's is all good. And under there I have, there it is, my roll of electrical tape for various antenna stuff, securing the antenna to the pole, various repairs. Also can use that in a first aid scenario if you need to. So that just sits in the very bottom of that compartment there, and the SWR meter just sits on the top. There's plenty of space for it. So this piece of foam here is as deep as the bottom of the box, so it's great. I've got a Baofeng UV5R there, a little UHF VHF radio. That's predominantly, I use that predominantly for listening. It's more of a receiver than anything else. You can monitor other channels. Obviously a lot of the time if you're at the coast, you can monitor weather reports, you can listen to the Coast Guard if you want to, and a lot of other things. There's a whole hobby devoted to just listening, but I do like to have a backup there, which is predominantly what it's for. I've also got my go-to PMR, the one that's recently been resurrected. It's a little Binatone MR200. This is what I use when I'm out on the hills for PMR contacts. So if I've spoken to you, probably been on this. That's normally what I use, apart from the odd occasion where I've been testing obviously the other antennas and stuff that you saw, the backpack antenna and things like that. Then we've got some spare batteries there, just in a little plastic case to keep them nice and isolated from one another and protected. Backup batteries there for the PMR. And then in this compartment here I've got the guy wire kit for the 10-meter pole, and I've got the antenna. Also sitting inside the antenna is my head torch. So basically that head torch would be used in conjunction with the box and not for walking on the journey. Everything in this box is for the radio. There's the antenna and a patch lead for the SWR meter. So it's all in there. It all sits in there, no problems at all. It's a little bit of a squeeze, but I'd rather be a little bit of a squeeze than have extra weight and extra room that I don't need. So it does all go in there, it does all sit in there. It takes a little bit of a packing, but that just all compresses down nicely, no problems at all. Get that in there, splop that in there, and it's all good. So that's basically all that's in my Go box. So if I get up onto the hill, say for example Beacon Batch, okay, we go up to Beacon Batch. Obviously we're carrying the poles separately, but we go up to Beacon Batch and all we got to do is open the box, put the antenna on the pole first of all, and it's a simple case of the connectors on the top there for the radio, and it could be any radio you like. As I say, it happens to be the Albrecht at the moment. I've usually got the wind meter out already anyway, so that can sit around the hinge, that's no problem there. Pull out the connector for the battery, okay, take the connector for the radio and plug it in. That then sits back down inside the box, and I've made a little gap in the foam there just for the wire, so that can all sit flush and neat again. If I want to close the box, if the weather turns and I need to close the box to put a shelter up, if I haven't done so already, I can, and then everything is then waterproof again. It is working, it's not for show. Obviously I've got the speaker connected already because the speaker for this is underneath, so the speaker's connected already. So that's basically it. That's everything really that I need to show you, just to give you an idea really. We could do some kind of Go box project if people want to have a go at making a Go box. I'd certainly be happy to see them. If you're on the CTX Facebook page, then we'd like to see your Go boxes if you make some for, you know, portable activities, or if you're on the Charlie Tango group, then by all means post up your pictures or videos on there as well. So essentially that's everything covered. There really isn't much more to go into in terms of what's in the video. This foam that everything is in comes out as a separate block, and there is another layer of thinner foam like the lid on the very bottom, so everything's cushioned nicely, everything is protected, so there's no worry that that goes under there basically to stop the mic pressing down so much on the radio. Everything is secured, everything is nice and compact. As I say, this can be used for not only portable activities, but it's going to be an option for me for my static mobile setups as well, because I don't leave any radio kit in my Land Rover. I don't leave any antennas, I don't leave radio kits, I don't leave batteries, nothing. When I park up and leave that somewhere, if I'm going up the mountains, it's completely empty inside. So rather than keep putting the radios and bits and pieces in my bag, I figured all I need to do is grab the Go box and you're ready to get on the air, and that's you done. So it's very simple. You've got a choice then of what antenna you put up. You could take a coax antenna or something like an Antron on some poles, entirely up to you. But that's basically it, folks. That's all there is to it. As I say, I'd love to see what you come up with if you decide to make one. And as I said, you can buy these blocks of foam, this pick and pluck foam, which is the right size for whatever box you buy, okay. And then what I plan to do, my plan is to basically have different setups for different things. So I'll probably have a box permanently ready to go for portable use, which will probably be this one, to be honest. But I do plan to do another one at some stage, maybe one for sideband, maybe one for other bits of kit, maybe some camera kit or something else if I'm going out to do reviews, which I plan to do this year. Plan to do some kit reviews and some other bits and pieces. Still got to show you that tent that I took with me on the mountains. So, you know, something that you can just get out of the vehicle with, and it's got your camera in it and your mic or whatever and everything else. Brilliant. But yeah, I'd love to see your Radio Go boxes if you come up with anything. And that's really all the video's about. Try and keep it short for you. I've covered all the major components, but yeah, that's the Go box. Tried to keep it a bit short, this one. Hope to try and get out portable this week. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so we've got the Midweek DX Southern tomorrow. All being well, I'll be out for that, and I want to try and get out portable for it. It's going to be cold. The temperature thing in the garden at the moment is about 1 degree, so it's going to be a cold one, but conditions are part and parcel of operating portable. So we'll head out for that one, all things being well, work, playing ball and stuff like that, and me not feeling too groggy. Not too bad, but you can probably still hear it in my voice. And yeah, that's about it really. Obvious things, you know, if you're going to use it static mobile, you've probably got a bigger heavy duty battery you can hook up to rather than use your portable battery. But yeah, other than that, I don't think there's anything else to say. So I shall sign off and let you get back to what you were doing. See you next time.